Hello YouTube, this is Joseph Mugabe, aka The Abnormal, aka Monty Moulton, and now aka Bomblacius. That's my new nickname. Or more or less, it's my new nickname for my new character. You see, you might be wondering why in the hell am I wearing this mask? And of course, you might think I look pretty terrifying, and I suppose I do. I can't walk outside, I don't know, 7 feet. Someone sees me, they'll call the cops on me immediately. But I'm not wearing this mask because I'm trying to hide my identity. You see, this is not to hide my identity, but more or less to give me an identity. I need different identities. I need different altering states of consciousness in order to survive in society. I'm what is known as a quiet borderline. As you know, borderline personality disorder generally, it's a relatively serious disorder that many people have. It's often confused with bipolar disorder. But it can be a very difficult condition to identify at times. I'm not a regular borderline personality person. There's different subtypes of every disorder. I also have OCD and ADHD, and I suppose a mild case of autism. And more or less, I also have an identity disorder, which is associated with my borderline personality disorder. Now, I don't have an identity disorder as far as the psychotic element of, not one identity, not knowing what the one is doing or saying. No, I have a different identity based upon kind of an emotional kind of psychotic state. You know, being borderline, you're constantly tormented with these negative thoughts. The thoughts of, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of betrayal. I mean, you even have, these like fantasies, these very realistic fantasies about people betraying people you love. When I watch and see something on a movie or a TV show, I see somebody getting bullied or I see something tragic happen, a character happen where, they get abandoned. You know, I have a hard time watching this scene because it strikes me because, it's like I'm living that. One of the worst things about having borderline personality disorder, particularly, is the self awareness. People say, well, you're so self aware about your disorder. Doesn't that help too? It helps in some ways, but you understand the self awareness, it's not healthy self awareness. It's almost like a exaggerated self awareness. Like the self awareness will only make you self aware that you have this condition, that you know you're gonna snap or this is possible. You're aware of this, but it's not self awareness that's going to help you cope or or help you be more responsible, but it's self-awareness that's going to like antagonize you or torment you or just remind you of a negative thing. I can never gain confidence. I can be confident in 1 minute, having a good day, all this, and all of a sudden just a negative thought can just jump in my mind and it can kill it. Like something can happen just like that in the blink. So in some cases, I'll try to say something not kind of negative, but I kind of prepare myself. If people wonder like, why are you so negative? Why are you all this? And they don't understand that I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying I'm just preparing myself so I don't, I won't be all confident in the good mood and happy just for that to get shut off because it makes it worse. You understand creating different identities, altered egos. That's how I survived. If I didn't have altered egos, I wouldn't be alive right now. There was a time when I went through one nasty divorce, uh, lost my kids, my house, and everything. Wife went married. I was on a spiral of depression. I can't go to drugs. I can't go to sex. I'm not gonna commit suicide. I'm gonna sit there and take it. And it just pisses me off how people always say, "Well, you're a weak-willed person, and you're this and that." Man, if most human beings have been through what I've been through, they probably wouldn't even be alive right now. Or they'll probably be somewhere in a ditch, somewhere homeless, being strung out on drugs or on alcohol, because that would be their coping mechanism. It was my identity that not that didn't become a coping mechanism, but it became a solution. Now, when you create an identity, and I explained this in different videos, you know, what one of the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, where you quiet borderline, especially if you're quiet borderline, is a kind of it's sort of a mixture of OCD, schizoid personality, and autism kind of mixed in together, but it's more related to OCD, and it's a condition known as maladaptive daydreaming, where people have these very realistic internal worlds where they go in deep fantasies and they fantasize, act them out, and my you know my fantasies are so strong, so realistic that I'll think out loud, I'll talk to myself, I'll do this. I explained this in another video. It's not schizophrenia, it's a combination is it's a mixture of OCD because these thoughts are becoming excessive to where you're like you routinely you got to control. With this condition, I created characters, and these characters I created, I was able to form it out and act out these characters in reality. People in my head, and that is how I was able to climb myself out of the hole. I didn't run to Jesus. I didn't run to money. I didn't run to my parents. I didn't run to drugs or anything. No. I just created another identity. Now in the future, I'm going to be wearing this mask to make a point. This is what shall I say, my new identity in a sense. But you understand, I don't need a physical mask to masquerade the character.